Vodafone presents the pre-match.
It's pre-match time, and it's NRG taking on Made in Brazil. We're starting with Mirage now too, and it's a map that we've seen multiple versions of in terms of how these teams play it. MIBR, they've had some very close and scrappy games in the early part of the season, but now they've bounced back with full force. While NRG, they like to grind it out nice and slow, and they don't make things easy for themselves either.
They never do they? Actually, I think that's more of a trademark at this point in time more than anything, really. You know, when I think of the Brazilian Counter-Strike and Mirage, it was actually, I think that was the map where back then I think they were called Keat Stars or Kaboom, one of those teams that Fallen and the boys had way back when they first started to get their big upsets against international teams. So, I mean, there's a lot of history when it comes to this map in the Brazilian Counter-Strike. Also, actually, oddly, when you think about it, I think also the Spongian boys with Australian Counter-Strike came famous with Mirage first. And what is up with Mirage? Why is it like an upset city?
It's become that like crazy map. Yeah, like that everyone can play it, right? But it always delivers in a different way because we get teams that like full focus mid control, and then we get teams that just all Hail Mary do the crazy rushes. We even see teams that don't even execute with flashes and smokes and still pull away rounds.
Listen, I remember when Tylo decided to just reinvent City Side altogether and play 2P short all the time.
See?
It made no sense, but it worked. No,
Crazy fraggers.
Mirage is a map, actually. It's super cool in the way that the evolution that keeps on happening. And teams keep relearning how to take mid and how to hold middle. And just different pacing of it. Yep. And it's a constant draw. And it's clever how these teams are able to pick up on things all the time. Back and forth, CT side and T side. But yeah, that's enough of Mirage as a map.
Now, one thing we got to look at, right? NRG have played a ridiculous amount of games online this past week.
Yeah. Like,
they've only got 4 more games after this series to play in total, and you can see them on your screen. So now they're going to play Made in Brazil, and then week 4, all they've got to play is Renegades and Cloud9. Now, the Cloud9 we know of is not looking too good. This Renegades lineup, though, they're sat towards the top of the standings at the moment. They're looking pretty hot. So I feel like if they can try and take at least 1 map, maybe potentially 2 maps here for NRG against Made in Brazil, they're almost guareeing themselves a spot at the LAN finals in Odense, then.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're going to go into those both matchups as favorites, and I mean, Renegades is going to be more of a matchup than Cloud9 is. That's the stand 100% right now. I mean, obviously, we don't know what the maps would be and stuff like that, so there's those little question marks, obviously. But, you know, NRG is a good thing, like something we talked about before, is the fact that they've been able to establish a bit of a map pool, and they can definitely play 5-6 maps very, very effectively. So, yeah, things are looking super, super good for NRG. I mean, this one here, I think, looking at this MIBR lineup that we saw them play, obviously, Liquid with a stand-in, but still you got to say that this MIBR right now looks much more focused than the one that we saw early in the season.
Fully, yeah. They're recharged, they're ready, and they're looking like a team that's taking things as they should be, right? Showing their dominance, showing their overall skill. One man I want to look at, though, on the NRG side of things was Cirque, right? The beast from the east. He delivers from time to time, more often than not. But when he drops off, that's when things get a little bit too dicey for NRG.
No, and naturally so, because an AWP player is such a big, massive part of a Counter-Strike team altogether, because he's a superstar, he's a striker, he's the one to be making plays, and everyone caters for him to be successful, basically. So if he falls off, then yes, I guess technically speaking, you should still have, you know, ways to work around it and have the 4 others. You know, maybe someone else will come alive and have a massive game with a rifle, for example, and that should be a possibility also. You know, you can't always be reliant on one single player, one AWP player to make those plays, because it is just human. Like, everyone's going to have an off game here and there. So you got to be able to work around that. So that's something I guess NRG needs to figure out as well going forward, that, you know, what do we do once that off game happens?
Well, we are going to find out a little bit more about the man that we were just talking about. Take a look at this insightful video from Cirque.
The Bulgarian CSGO player Svetlin Cirque Dimitrov is one of the most promising op talents in the professional scene. He plays for the North American organization NRG Esports, but before joining NRG in August last year, he was part of the Bulgarian squad Outlaws.
Like, we were a good team in Bulgaria back then. Like, we were almost getting into top 30. I wasn't getting paid much. I think I was getting paid like $300, and I was doing it I wasn't doing it full time, but when we were playing tournaments, I was staying up till like 4 a.m. to play in qualifiers and tournaments. So I was skipping school. I was lying to my dad, my stomach hurts almost every day. So I wasn't really thinking about it. I really wanted it. And my dad he wanted it to happen as much as I wanted it, pretty much. But we weren't improving. And I wanted to make the big step to like actually join like team with experienced players.
And there you have it. It's NRG that pushed through in dominating fashions.
I literally just messaged Daps one night. It was 3 a.m. I ordered myself some spaghetti, and I actually messaged NJ from Singularity. He was in NRG. He moved like 2 months ago, and I just messaged him as a joke. I was like, I know you guys need an upper, and he was like, can you join TeamSpeak? And I said, yeah, sure. And I got in TeamSpeak with Dabs, and Dabs just started asking me questions. And he was like, yeah, sure, we can try scrimming. And that's how it all started.
Shot now. Cirque knows where they both are. He's got out and dropped out Vice 1 versus 1, and Cirque, surely he's not going to do it again. Yes, he does. Cirque is unnatural.
And then I go to a country where everything is more modern, I guess. It's just different. As bad as this sounds, it wasn't hard. Me and my dad, I feel like we have a connection. Even though I'm in America, I don't miss him as much as other people might miss their family, because we talk twice a day. We talk morning and night. When I'm with my teammates, it's like my second family right now because I'm living with them and everything. So when we didn't make the major 1 month ago, I was pretty sad. I actually didn't want to play, but yeah, they fixed me somehow. I don't know. It just with time it got better and stuff like that. But I was pretty sad. They can't replace my family, but it's like it feels like I'm around family as well. So my dream is for sure to go to a major. Win it, of course.
A little bit of a deeper look at the man behind that green gun that he uses all too well.
What a sympathetic guy.
Yeah, I like it though. It's, gives us a different viewpoint of him, right? He's an absolute beast in the server, but he's a down-to-earth, little emotional guy when it comes to it. And a man that's obviously traded a whole very different lifestyle to get over to this NRG roster and live it out in the States.
Yeah, no, it's always a massive move when you think about it. You know, young kid. I'm not sure how old he is, but he can't be that
I think he's like 19 or 20?
Yeah. We're talking, I mean, barely 20 at least. Oh, right, at most.
Let's find out.
For having someone, you can find it out as I go on. I mean, moving all the way across to the other side of the world is a massive feat, first of all. It's not even meant for a lot of people. We have seen a lot of players in the past that just haven't wanted to do it just because of the lifestyle change and being away from family, from friends, having that kind of little bubble you can live inside where everything is just really, really nice and warm, basically. But instead, you go to the cruel world out there, you're on your own, you got to obviously, in these big teams, you have team houses and everything's usually taken care of pretty well. But it's still a massive mental hurdle to get across to be able to do it. But for someone like Serg, I mean, obviously the Bulgarian scene has never really been that big in the world of Counter-Strike. Obviously, he could have possibilities in it within Europe as well to play for an international team, I feel like, and he might still have down the line, considering how young he probably is.
18.
18, yeah. I mean, geez, what were you doing when you were 18?
Playing
Not living in America.
No, I was living in America. Playing Counter-Strike still, but
yeah, exactly. I was playing Counter-Strike too. Was I? No, I was living in Finland. Anyway, no, but I mean, yeah, it's you got to give a lot of credit for these guys to make those sacrifices to move over, thinking about their career as a big thing. Being as good of a player as he is, I think he made the right move. He's definitely been showcasing that he has the capabilities of being a part of a team that is within that top 10 range in the world for sure.
What I'm impressed with as well, right? We find out he's 18, but how kind of like confident he was with just his direction, the decision making going from Outlaws and coming into NRG. Like a lot of people at that age and to be this good, right, to be that skilled, would not give you that kind of openness and that raw that we just saw in the video.
Yeah, I mean, I remember back, like I definitely, from my own perspective, when I was like 18, 17, in that range, I definitely got rattled way easier than what I did, 5-10 years later when I was already a veteran player. I had all the experience. It would, it's just easier to go in those situations, any kind of situations, because you've already gone through it. So you wouldn't get scared or don't start getting jitters when things get dicey.
Launders and Scrawny are back with us. Did you enjoy that little piece on Cirque there?
Yeah, that was cool. He looks like a freshly born baby.
Yeah. You back on my blackout again?
No, I swear I didn't.
It's a different kind of blackout. Cirque, so there's another thing about mid laners in Dota too, where they say that you should have young ones because they don't know what it's like to lose, and they have the confidence that's unbreakable. And so it's somebody that's lost too much is too used to the idea of someone being better than them, and the potential for that. But some of the best mid laners are very young, you know, like.
Unfortunately, I feel like Cirque lost that with the minor, though.
You think it all goes away with one land?
I mean, that was a massive loss, wasn't it?
Well, it was a huge loss for NRG, but can they pick up the big win now against MIBR on Mirage? Launders and Scrawny, this is your time to shine, boys.
Are you feeling shiny, Mohan?
Yeah, I'm always glowing.
Yeah, good. I like that.
I actually don't think that's the same thing, but.
Well, it's close enough.
Yeah.
Do you think MIBR are going to come into this match and just stomp like they did versus Liquid?
No. I think. Maybe. I don't know.
It's a hard one to call.
Very pointed analysis. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's a hard one to call just because, again, you know, MIBR obviously look hot against Liquid, but that's a Liquid versus or without twist. Liquid minus twists. NRG has been on quite a little tear here in this week, right? We talked about how they had that 30-match week, and they're through the most of it. I'm sure fatigue may be setting in, but their success should also be sinking in. And that, like you said, bolsters confidence. So they have their hands full with MIBR, but these are still two teams that are within the top 6 currently of this division. MIBR, actually, with the most recent win, have now taken first place, Mohan.
Wow.
By also, of course, having played more maps than everyone else.
That helps, but they've only got 3 losses, so that's really good.
Yep, they're up there. Looking like the North American Astralis. But we'll see if they have their hands full with NRG. Right now, it's the B site that's under question, and coldzera now activates from the back of bench just to die. Ethan and Breezy taking him down and dropping the bomb in the process. So things will be slowed a little further. And thinking of further, Breezy toys with the idea of walking into the market, but Stewie comes flying right out. And then it's an utter execution. 3 rapid headshots for MIBR. They pick up a pistol.
Maybe they are warmed up. They looked really good there for a second, just the shots they hit. And, you know, that's a round we see people lose all the time just because they're jumping out of retake spots that are easy to stop. You get a couple extra free shots in if you're the terrorist defending. NRG couldn't capitalize there. MIBR win it. And that is nice. I don't think the game overall will be as easy. I'm sure Liquid were not in the same headspace, and not playing with Twist is just such a big hit to take. Like, literally at times the best player on the team, so I don't know. If they even anticipated winning, just period, which changes the game. NRG, however, have their full lineup with Imachet in the coach position.
Not a Canadian.
Not a Canadian. The American Imachet
from New York.
New York. $2, the greatest $2 pizza in the world.
Hey, I'm coaching here.
Hey, I'm coaching. I'm walking over here.
That's my chat impersonation.
You think you're better than me? Huh?
Sounds nothing like that.
That's what he sounds like.
You're lying. You're lying, Launders.
Your word versus mine.
That's true.
I have more followers than you.
Man states truths. NRG going to take this round on the chin. Shouldn't be all too upset with the outcome, seeing as they had so little to work with. And hey, they even get a consolation prize. coldzera is dead.
Yeah.
So is Stewie.
It's I guess that's a cigarette.
Pardon?
Close but no cigar.
Right.
That's what they get. Cigarette.
Cigarello.
Close.
Now outlawed in Canada.
Yeah, not allowed.
Can't be smoking
Everybody knows what you're
cigars.
using those ones for. So.
Those high school parties, you know.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm smoking.
Smoking over here in the B side of Dust 2. Come on in, we're having a party.
More smokes inside of mid. And Cirque's second hand is behind him. Third 2. So making a bit of a ruckus, allowing for Fugly to walk up from the bottom of middle, but Fallen peers over top the smoke, waiting in anticipation.
When Fallen is off and he actually feels like a sniper, I feel like would feel in real life, you know? He just finds the trickiest angles. He's very patient, and it just feels like everything stops for a moment when he's sitting there waiting.
He definitely slows down time.
Just like Neo.
Father Fallen, Father Time.
Oh wow, Furs, wow. That's a very unlikely spot. It's so weird because he has to take this fight versus a ramp, and okay, they don't clear him.
Nope.
Or they do.
Fugly just playing with Fallen now. This does set up Stewie to succeed.
Oh yeah.
And so far, they're not actually turning their backs towards him, so he could just blindside this entire bomb site. Will hit the planter just after it goes down, and Tarek sweeps them with him. So Fugly, he's the one that took Fallen off the catwalk, but now he's got an even more difficult job to do. Most notably because the smoke is in his face. Now, sure, nice headshot onto Coldzera, but you have to get this player off the bomb. There's no kit on them, and he's sticking the defuse. Whoa!
You follow the tracers back. That's pretty crazy. What a round from both Stewie and Tarek. Stewart and Turok.
This is that 2K. Oh, Breezy walks into it.
He was just going to trade. I mean, Tarek was blind. It was all him. That was a good flash.
Hold left click, close your eyes, and check the kill feed once you regain vision.
So we had a pretty good chance to finish that kill off too. So good position from him. From the apps control is just so massive for CTs. It's actually overpowered. If you're even one person on the site, you have the best retake spot. You have such a good chance to get the first kill. You can multi-frag as we saw Stewie do, or attempt to do, and you can just make it so easy for your rotators. You can just come into CT so simply. I think it's one of the best areas to push of any map. If you think that the terrorist is not going to play there, and as the A lurker in a default for the T's, they have to pick between holding a ramp or palace. There's rarely you get someone holding a ramp and then one palace, because that thins out your mid presence and also your B guys. You might have someone do an underpass walk. So strong position. Stewie abused it. Now it's the eco round. Stewie's going to be playing from CT. That was actually a really nice shot.
Himself somewhat into the A-bomb site, but then it all comes crumbling around them. Fugly's up and down.
You like your cookies chewy or crunchy?
Chewy.
Me too. Really like a chewy cookie.
Yep.
I feel like I will like them, and especially appreciate them when I lose my teeth.
You're just gonna gum them?
Not even gonna put my veneers in.
Mind you, if you eat them with milk, all the crunchy cookies can become soft too.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like Oreos, those aren't very soft, but
yeah,
by the time I eat them, they are.
Right. Not like, yeah. I don't think they chew.
Yeah, this is a gun round launcher. This one's important. Stop the shenanigans, hold the phones, and focus on what's unfolding. A rapid clash to the top of middle, netting MIBR one hell of an advantage. It is 4-1, but Cirque not done just yet, that is. Walks outwards and finds Coldzera, but Fur is right there to trade.
MIBR look land ready at the moment. Their fragging is insane right now. I mean, it's just so much better than Tarek is having a game and a half at the moment, 8-0. Good kills on the rifle rounds, just fantastic performance so far. Looking extremely strong, and this is the case where we saw them versus Liquid. They do look as good as they did versus Liquid.
Right, exactly.
It's, you know, that's crazy. They're looking really good.
The state of their opponent not going to stop them. So we've talked about the consistency of Fur so far, and again, he's having a great game, but like you mentioned, Tarek right there up with him. Stewie as well, putting in work. So we had Stu step up map 1. Cold the second. Now everybody seems to be finding their place, finding their comfort. Well, this one looking a little shaky. We've got some entries for NRG into the A site. Fallen, blinded as he falls off with the op. And the T's are going to give chase. NRG want to find him here. He is a liability on 11 health.
Yeah.
And the rest of his team over here towards connector.
Oh, they're all in CT. They're one smoke away from being on the wrong side of that site. So, oh my! They pick up the op though. I can see why they wanted to search it out. Excuse me, but with the amount of info here, they should certainly smoke this.
Cold Will. That is the only smoke. That's the thing. Both have kits, sure, but once he taps the bomb, it's going to elicit the peek, and they all come inwards. And now every time Tarek taps it, you know you're just going to get spammed or peeked, and there you go. Ethan takes the top side, NRG on the board, out of nowhere, Mohan.
Yeah, a bunch of gremlins in the night, waking up, attacking the toy store. That's what happened just now. That toy store was the A site. The gremlins were NRG.
Gremlins, ghouls, and goblins.
Cotton all over the floor. They got in there like swimwear, Connor.
In there like swimwear. I've not heard that before. Gotta admit.
Just take a moment to digest that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to decipher it. It's quite visual.
Flavors of the imagination. Oh, Stewie. He's alone. He was alone with the AWP there. Oh, they're kind of saving, so he's trying to take some kind of risk, but not expecting late mid control like that, and was being very a flagrant amount of peeking happening from his perspective at the top of Cat.
Ooh, Fur just misses Ethan.
He still pushed all the way through.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. He saw the trail. The contrail that Ethan left. He sees the plan of action.
All the breadcrumbs.
Yep.
Where are you, Hansel? Where are you, Gretel?
Are you the Wicked Witch of the West?
No, from the east.
Oh.
Fur ready?
Oh, yeah!
Oh, seen by Cirque, and Derek just runs in. Dabs is going to find him on the exit there as he tries to get out from Palace. So that does leave 2 of the tees up. They've equalized it at 2 apiece. Fallen. Whoa, just rapidly running around. Fugly, now all that's left over, and he's trying to isolate duels, but Fallen's going to best him. And MIBR straight back onto the board. NRG lucky to have kept some extra cash. Remember, they won with just armor and pistols in the prior. But yeah, MIBR playing proactive, not only using Fallen on the ramp to get the opening pick, but then also pushing Palace in order to get that hot trail behind NRG. So
Yeah.
If I'm NRG, I don't expect both Palace and ramp to be aggressed on.
No, and that's actually very interesting because typically, like I say, Taco, when he was on the team, he would play Palace and he would almost never push out, and he would always just sit there and wait while probably, like, you know, 12 rounds out of 15, he's holding Palace push, not A ramp. And so if he's the only player there, though, you push both. Let's say he gets one. The other one can still go through, and the guy in Palace is trapped. Or there's no one there. You get the double push out, and a round like that. Some good damage dealt versus the A ramp players. It's kind of as the most that Stewie has to do. He just doesn't want to die in this situation now. They're officially playing for the retake, just trying to get a free kill if possible, but that's about it. Do they take control? Oh, they do, but they run right back to you.
Oh boy, Cirque turns right back around, catches his head. Oh, a collateral from Fallen, and he's got the support just behind him now, so they all go gunning inwards. A 3-piece from Fallen just rips this to shreds and puts it on young Ethan. He's got himself in off position. They haven't figured him out just yet. I don't think the bomb necessarily planted for him, so now he needs rapid kills, a crescendo of frags, and Fallen's just gonna try to stick this, comes off, grabs the kit, and there's still no time, I don't think, so Ethan's won the round!
Why did he do that? Did he not have time with the stick before getting the before he had to have? That was not a good idea. I don't think that was a good idea, because he was default and he knew it was A ramp, so he had to run all the way around, and literally Cold was still alive. Look at that, all the 0 RWS that round fall in. Maybe he didn't have the 10 seconds to stick is the only thing I can assume.
Right.
Because Fallen's not the player who makes those mistakes, like, ever. But if he did, that was a mistake. I mean, he did just call it by, he was off by almost like half a second, but still.
Yeah, right.
If he had it, just hold it, you know.
I thought maybe he could get on the bomb a little swifter.
Very strange stuff. Another A explode from NRG in the books.
Yeah, it's the
open and shut case, Johnson.
It's the way in which they have picked up both their rounds.
Fallen's very alone at the moment. All alone. You'll probably die alone, Connor.
Well, that's not very inspiring.
No. That wouldn't be a very good story.
Got 2 flashbangs. They've already spotted him. Great initial damage, sure. A little bit more to Breezy and Ethan. One of which swept away by Coldzera. Stu takes the high ground trying to find something, but a bit of an off smoke does give a gap for the Opera to work with. Tarek's in position, just ready to go for the peak if need be. Tries to stop plant, but nope, Ethan covers. And Coldzera blankets himself in smoke.
Cold can see players over the top of this. Misses the first shot. And there were two jumping around, but his position is now known. He falls back into underpass. This round is not over. This round is far from over. I don't think he gets away far enough. Let's see. He's surrounded. Moving quickly into a player in spawn. Fugly. He's waiting. Can he actually see Pal? No, he can't actually see this. Oh, there it is. He's gonna go for this. Oh, Fugly didn't see him. Never mind. Take it all back.
Whoa.
And there it is. Coldzera survives. Keeps the op. I was on my toes.
This is good. This is a door open for NRG now. Looking to equalize the score.
Door Apner.
Just
the door Apner button has been pushed. Yeah, so to open doors that are locked by security on the other side of them, you have to press the door Apner button and then open the door normally. Oh, just wanted to peek. It's just a window shopping.
Checking it out.
He broke in the front door just to leave.
Found the open house. Looking for a place with at least 2 bedrooms.
Came in, just farted in it, and left.
The old crop duster. But there's nobody in the apartment, so they do eject. Grouping themselves together through spawn. And off of Daps' play from Palace. Set their sights on A. They've got the wall of smokes on both stairs, cross, and spawn. So the whole crescendo, although smidgen of a gap going to be played off of from the staircase, and Stewie's dead now. So that one opper from Coldzera, yet to find anything. And once the bomb is planted, he should just look to leave. Although now his backside's open. They need to clear middle if he's ever going to get out of dodge.
It's a gun retrieve to the top of Cat, and once again Coldzera's got the op and connector, drops the smoke to shroud himself from the tees, and will have to eventually fall back, you would think. He has a kit, he has a head armor, but he doesn't have enough time. He has to leave. They keep mid, and they decide to stay here, which is quite fine. Surprised Tarek's actually willing to show himself to connector. Feels very confident that no one is going to peek him from there, and he's right. They went the long way. Top him as a player, but that's it. Another 10th save. And MIBR lose another round to A. NRG doing good job at A. Doing a great job executing, splooging all over the A site.
If it works,
keep it up. Do it again.
You know, but they have to make sure that they stay as a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Important to keep these executions moist.
Yeah, always like a moist Alex Richardson.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was gonna say that is machine, right? Yeah. Now I see what you've done. I see what you've done here. NRG look to get it done at the B-bomb site. Whoa!
Oh. This rattled the camera.
Yeah, I was gonna say, shook the head loose. Anticipating the further of the cross, falling just misses the player to get up in the close corner. So now when he runs out unsuspecting to Breezy, too easy. That B site fumbled.
We're seeing some variation here. The fast B cat split. Also known as the fast B cat split. I can't think of a better word for it. What's a creative name for a fast B cat split?
Fast B cat split. We need a title for it. I don't know. Coming up blank, Mohan.
Let's call it a fast B split.
Okay. That's creative.
We removed one word. That's not creative. Yeah, you're right. I know you literally said that was creative, but I know that was just sarcasm.
It was sarcasm. You figured me out. My body language give it away? Or was it the condescending tone in my voice?
I think it was...
Idiot.
It was a little, it was a little both.
This is what I like to see, though. A purchase backup from MIBR, which means it's not going to be all too easy for NRG. They've been given a couple gifts. Some softer of rounds. But it's also now 5 in a row out of NRG. An exchange of frags in middle. Fur comes out alone through connector. And be careful, dear Tarek. He's already taken damage now. The flames are spreading. And he is lucky to be alive.
Oh, the entry on A, the lurk could change everything. At this point, it's 3-4, and Breeze now doesn't have to worry about a sub-player here. However, Fallen comes out for the trade, and he does get 2, is fast enough to know that Cirque might have lurked out of connector, and he has now upgraded, transformed from a Falmus to an AK player, and it's ROP stickers on it, so you know it's good.
But
unfortunately, the 4-3's got to change the res, however.
Yeah, doesn't see Ethan coming in. With Fallen going down, that's left not only this 2v2 to unfold, but look at the health advantage they have.
Who's the guy who has 4 ROP stickers on his AK?
I don't know, actually. I'll have to figure that out.
Appreciate that. Oh, I thought that was a CT.
I bet you it's...
Who do you think is the fanboy? I'm going to go with Fugly. He's a troll. Circus a troll, too.
Yeah, Circus a troll. That was going to be my guess.
I'm going to go with Fugly.
I'm going to say Breeze.
Going Breeze?
Yeah. I can't...
Who was it? There was somebody who wouldn't share... I think it was Breeze. He wouldn't share toothpaste.
Really?
I thought it was unsanitary. I think it was Breeze. But
wait,
if you
toothpaste, not toothbrush.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not unsanitary.
Because I'm not sticking your toothbrush in my mouth.
Of course not. That's disgusting.
But I'll use your paste.
Absolutely. Because once you finish the paste, you can break it off without ever touching the rest of the toothpaste.
Yeah, of course.
So how could that possibly be unsanitary?
I don't know.
I guess I'm preaching to the choir here.
He's from Bulgaria. Maybe they do things different.
No, not Cirque. Breeze.
Oh, Breeze. Well, he's not from Bulgaria.
He's from America, yeah.
They still do things different there.
That's true. There'd be 100 million people doing weird things. If that were the case. Pushing a palace. All the CTs getting frisky. Getting frisky and risky.
2 Molotovs this time. Tarek's not going to get burned out in the open because he's not there at all. He has opted elsewhere with the rest of his team on pistols. However, Cold's here. Knock, knock. NRG kicking in the door. Or at least just one player in the form of Ethan. Trying to sound bigger than he really is. Looking to call the attention, but after getting dinked, he wants nothing more. Do not give him an AK. Run.
The rotates came out. It was a full A play at that point. It didn't seem like there would be easy rotates for MIBR to abuse if it was a B hit, and Fur gets his kill off top mid, looks for 2, and he's good for it. What a 2K.
Bomb included. Well, that's going to set up the rest of the pistol players to succeed. If only Stewie had been able to curb back Fugly's aggression and success. But Fallen just one-taps Fugly. Good night. Puts Coldzera into position, and he's creating such a ruckus towards Tetris that, sure enough, Coldzera's going to trade! Oh! 2 shots, all it takes!
Dude. There was multiple moments there where MIBR could have just won. Stewie gets his kill on the site. You know, Fallen gets his kill at Tetris. And Coldzera comes in for the 1v2. That was pretty nice. Rotates were good the whole time. They stayed very fluid, you know? The footwork was great. You've got to stay light on your feet. You want to be able to release those jabs. And that's what you need to do. You need to peck at them if you have pistols. And they made sure to keep up the confusion. Tarek has the op. An after image flash shoos him off of an angle, and Stewie at least gets a kill for the hero from last round, as well as Tarek. Both get op frags. Where do you even go, men?
Somewhere other than the scopes. But they can't happen to find an entry. Stu with 3. Cirque flies through the skies, and Cold cuts him down. Pull.
Pull. Skeet shooting?
Yep. You ever done that?
No.
You ever shot a gun?
Yeah.
Sideways?
No, that's dumb.
Oh.
You shot a gun sideways?
Of course.
Are you an idiot? Really?
Yeah.
And you didn't get any shell casings in your eye?
No, no.
Hot shell casings land right on your eyes?
No.
That's what happens, because they come out the side.
It's true, they're spat upwards.
Yeah, not very safe out there in rural Canada, are you?
No, that's the beauty of it. You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
It's like the Wild West.
Yeah, that's why we have 2 eyes. So you need one. Learn not to shoot your gun sideways.
Tarek, not pressured off of his position, comes out when he pleases. So this time, remember, NRG, they got their success rolling, all based on that one pistol round towards the A bomb site. And then they consistently continued towards A. They're going to try B in the last attempt of the first half, and, well, it doesn't go too well at all. Tarek cutting him down short, so good enough from NRG, seeing as this was a 6-1 start to the favor of MIBR. There's no shame in a 9-6 finish.
Not at all, especially considering they had good rounds to show in the 6 rounds they got. It seemed basically just like they started to wake up late, and that every round was very difficult for MIBR to win, and eventually they started pulling them out once they got in the rhythm. Rhythm. R-I-D-D-I-M-Z.
You almost made me swallow my lozenge.
Swallowed one of your last lozenges, huh?
The last one. This is the last one.
Yeah.
I dropped it on the floor when this game started.
Ew,
and I'm
and
still
you put it
eating
back in your mouth. Oh, what the heck? That's disgusting. I bet you would share a toothbrush.
But not toothpaste.
That's rude. It's crossing the line.
See if they can cross the line of defense that NRG are trying to. Oh my god, he wrecked. And that's the right word for it. 4-1 now, Stewie 2K. With a Glock in hand, trying to pop a couple noggins. Can't find too much just yet, nor does he have the bomb. If he had it, he'd just go for the plant. But he's going to have to fight his way out, tooth and nail. Claws.
Okay. He really wants the CT fight. CT fight really stirs up rotations, eliminates the crossfire. But everybody's so far back, you know? That's how they should be. Oh my god, could Stewie actually do this?
Yes, he could.
He knows where they are. Oh, he's waiting. He's so patient. Oh my god, he actually called out that player would push out a CT pass triple into his crosshair, but Daps is there. Father Daps.
I feel like Stewie's one of the guys who doesn't mind being left in that position.
He waits for his team to die.
Yeah.
He probably called the strat.
Yeah. So the 1v5 pistol not working out from MIBR. No surprise to that. And NRG will buy up into what is a collection of SMGs and FAMI. Oh, but Coldzera goes for that single AK purchase, and he makes it work for 2. Fallen gets his hands on it, but there's nobody else with Kevlar launders.
That's true. It's too late to buy as well. It's got to be straight headshots. You got to be shooting people in the back. Oh my god, the plant could come out. There's 3 CTs at mid, Connor. This site is cracked wide open. Fur doesn't know this. He's assuming someone's going to come here to try to jump spot, and so he's also just waiting because they're looking to sell a fake. Are they? I think they're not even planning to win this round because they don't know if B-side has got anybody in it.
Plant for plant.
No, he
go.
is too worried that someone's in the filler. If he goes to clear, he's just going to die.
To make his move finally. Fallen could fade away. CT's probably going to realize, whoops. We've made a vital error.
Is there a gun that he could run back and get? That would be a tall task.
Don't believe so. What if he just leaves the bomb site? If he runs right now, he could
go
still
get a
make it to
gun.
Fallen's AK.
That's a good point. Yeah, he should
Go.
Yeah, he should do that. What's he even doing here? Just get up, get some Mr. Freezies from the fridge.
6 of them.
He should just run. This is a very good point. Oh, okay. He's gonna go now. I guess he thought he would die if he took too much time, but
I think it's an ump at least.
that's nice. The lead thins. The lead thinins.
Are those like linens?
The opposite of thickens.
Yes.
The linens are the opposite of thickens.
So, purchase backed up. Stewie lucky to have a gun because of that one saved ump. Already MIBR set their sights to the top of mid. And on top of that, Tarek wins the duel versus Fugly. He was trying to get aggressive inside of the Palace launders.
It's a big call out.
But Tarek's the king.
Now they're not surprised that there's no mid control. What do NRG do? They've just been read. They have to make some kind of informational trade. They're going for A ramp.
Yeah, they'll get the info.
See, this is the thing. Like they pushed A ramp and Palace at the same time. probably not going to be held on both sides. So this is a pretty good spot for Ethan to be in. And what's going to happen with Cirque now? Breeze has not been pushed out of position. Cirque there goes for the fight straight up. Breeze, he's not going to catch anybody off guard.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Keeps continuing onwards, really wanting to hammer it home. Ethan.
Oh boy.
Yet to strike, but the bomb's being planted in his face, so yes, he does drop Fallen. Cold, Tarek, and Fur left to finish this off. They do retrieve bomb and plant safely this time round. Dap's going to make noise to the bottom of mid, so Cold Zera waiting for it. He's been spotted out. And that MP9 now low on bullets, so sure enough, he's removed. But Ethan stands tall. Creeps his way closer to the site, doesn't have a kit currently on him, taps it to try and elicit a peek, and will find Cold Zera. That's the flash gone high, connects to the eyes, and Ethan then dies. Tarek drops him down.
Flash lands exactly on default, just for the player in Palace to peek, so it wasn't even Cold Zera who was going to use himself as human bait. Instead, he just wanted to help Fallen or Tarek with that peek, so it doesn't even matter that he dies at the end of the day. Really well played there. Flash lands a little short, but it's just enough to blind him and displace his aim, so there's no stick involved. And now MIBR have grabbed the clutch. They can now, if they win this round, put NRG back on a save. And for who gets vision first? Oh my god, you assume Ethan's gonna be up. He does see him.
Hey ya.
How are you doing?
See ya later, sucka. Tarek?
Oh,
Ethan. This time around, Cold Zera bailing him out. 3 kills for him. That just obliterates the A site. Spanks it wide open.
what are they, garbage?
Spins the
garbage.
top.
Slaps the top, slaps the roof of the garbage.
I'm waiting for somebody to make an MP5 skin that has a buttocks on it.
Why?
Because when you pull it out, he spanks it.
Oh,
You
that
know?
would be good. Should do that.
I'm not creative.
Is it a nude buttocks?
I don't think they'd pass.
You could put swimwear on there. On the buttocks.
Get in there like swimwear. Breezy's about to hit the site. Oh my god, knows where they're both at. And remember, Cold only has 9 HP. There's no time to defuse, however, so it's just cutting at the gains of MIBR.
Yikes. Yeah, a little bit of damage dealt. Thought it was going to get sketchy from there, but didn't notice the bomb was almost ready to explode. And MIBR win that round because of this play right here from this wonderful man, Cold Zera, who sometimes cannot be stopped. Sometimes it's not your fault.
Nope. Sometimes Cold Zera just swings around corners.
Strong individual plays are what makes this game, separates this game from other games. So we cherish them.
Yeah, absolutely true.
Tarek, is he going to swing into this? He does. Not given not even the smallest chance.
That's nice though, because think of the times that MIBR have actually gained a man advantage based on walking at a palace alone.
Push, yeah.
But this time NRG, they go with the two-piece combo.
That's right. Cajun fries.
Lavish.
The false exec. There's a couple players in the site though, so they're gonna know like nothing has happened yet, but they don't know if it's a false or a fake exec. You know, false being that there might be a second one coming, and so maybe this does its job if they really think it is going to be. And here's Fallen to help them buy into it. 3 players walking up Cat now, kind of cool, but Daps here has the cutest angle ever and a cute M4 to go with it.
Souvenir. And he's left MIBR with some memorabilia. They're spread all over this catwalk, and they won't forget his hold anytime soon because he picks up a 3rd off of it. You just talked about the individual plays, the one-man shows. And Daps knows exactly what you're talking about because he could even add a 4th. No, Fallen will stop him short. And with 20 seconds, he's going to gun his way into the B site, so it seemed. Maybe trying to fake out someone that spotted it off of A. He'll double back. And nearly clears the ticket, but it's the player on Palace that should get him once he attempts his plant. It's a fake. Doesn't change a thing.
interesting attempt at a execute. Well, the interesting attempt at selling a fake. It was like a more of like a high-level move there from MIBR, where they're probably playing towards tendencies of NRG, just because the false exec doesn't necessarily give you that much information. It was so long ago, but it seemed like NRG were definitely the least afraid of mid, so there was a chance there. However, Daps was sitting in ladder room and totally ready, so maybe that's why his teammates were totally fine in their positions as well. He could give them peace of mind. Underpass play. Oh my god, Cirque went for the jump but whiffed it. But Daps again. Father Daps from the top ropes.
Gave him the RKO. Came back for more. Second servings. Cirque steals it. Ethan shut down first. So sure enough, one after another, they all do die. Remember, not this round, but the one previous that they picked up, Mohan. It was with 3 saved weapons and 2 players on nothing at all. That's why Fugly gets a USP kill from Palace. You know, the guy who walked forward when Tarek was shut down by the AWP. He had nothing. Yeah, 2 players saved. So that's crucial. It's a very important round for them to start making this comeback within.
They have so much money now.
Exactly, and on top of that, they've actually managed to pull the tie. This is going to be 11 apiece because there's no way MIBR make it work with so little.
We certainly have a very real match on our hands then. Pistols aplenty, players afoot. MIBR have to give this up, not assume they're going to get any kills. They're going to have one buy. You definitely want to be able to assume that NRG are now in the power position. They're probably going to be very confident. They're going to be very rich. And I think this is the time that NRG do something a little bit more risky, because they have the rounds to work with. And if they get away with this, then, and if they don't get away with this, they can go back to other stuff. Here's where you get to experimental. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like experimenting.
This is what Kojima did to his fans with Metal Gear Solid 2.
What was that awful Metal Gear game that was like a zombie survival?
That was after Kojima.
I figured.
That was a really, I think it was a really bad game.
Yes.
That was a new one.
Not even worth a Google. Not worth one Google. 4-man setup from MIBR. Looks like they're changing direction. I can't remember them hitting up this B site with too many executions. But the time is now. Who's on the receiving end of affairs? It's Daps.
How are NRG so low on utility already? This is the B split's on. The rotates are not quite in yet, but they have cat control. The smoke's there. They've gone to ladder room. It's an insane amount of map control for MIBR to have at this point. And they are sitting pretty. The rotates are hesitant because they don't have info on the push or mid, so they don't want to call it too early. They just simply don't have that knowledge. But as for MIBR, they are ready to pounce. This could be very scary for NRG esports.
Damian Steele not going to be able to melt under the pressure. He's sitting here waiting and waiting. Daps patient for the push. At the 44-second mark, that's when the grenades start to fly on over. He underhands the flash and does turn one away. Picks up the player behind him, in fact, and Fugly out from the market door, putting in work. Can he find the last two? He certainly has taken Tarek, but Fallen goes silent. So they're not sure where he's got off to, and he's continuing to creep around and around. Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't Fugly.
No, but it's still a nice kill.
And he did damage, and he almost killed him. And who knows, maybe he does, because Fugly stays alive, so maybe he would have got that kill. That would have been nuts. What a hold from Fugly. That was sick. Yeah. It seemed like he was hitting a high percentage of his bullets, which is a weird thing to think about.
Important hold from Daps as well. Sure, he lets the players out the window, but his flashbang, it blinds the front runner. He kills the player in the back, you know, wins that duel, and then ejects safely, putting all the pressure onto his teammates. So this is NRG definitely pulling away with the CT side. Launders, they have a lead, and they have a broken MIBR ahead of them.
Yeah. No, and again, it's more important that MIBR won that round. NRG, if they lost that last round, they could just buy again. Buy one more time. Look at Cirque, he's got 12K.
Money, money, money. Breezy and Ethan are the ones putting on the show so far. Leading the charge as they should be. That's what we've come to expect. Tarek looking at his new shoes. but he looks away at the worst possible time, so Daps drops him, puts him back in line, and extends the lead of NRG.
They're close, 3 rounds away from taking map number 1 after MIBR had a very strong start and a very strong finish to the first half. 21 kills for Ethan, 21 kills for Breeze. And MIBR came out looking so hot in the beginning. So hot, super hot. Very hot. White hot. But now that might be the conversation we're going to have about Cirque. He likes to turn up on CT sides.
Yeah, most certainly does. Plays that mobile op role. Gets his pick to start it off. Dropping Fur as well, who has been the most impactful over the first 2 maps versus Liquid, but now finds himself at the bottom of the board. And there's not a huge distribution between MIBR's members, so it's not like he's playing particularly bad. But when we've watched him carry twice, Mohan, it's just not the same. Flash goes up, Fugly goes down. That's a good couple of kills here for the side of MIBR, but Ethan unable to manage himself more than one. Daps forced forward. The flames at his feet. Watches the T's double back towards ramp, and it's Daps and Breezy on the retake. 2 kits between them. Molotov out, flashbang still ready. Now meant to enable Breezy's cross, but he holds. Patiently waiting for the CT peak when little do they realize it's the wraparound in mid. Eventually, coldzera will get into position, and the bomb most certainly planted for him. Now Tarek comes out of firebox, and it's traded immediately. So, no. coldzera with another will take MIBR to 12.
It was very late, but they had the A-ramp player, they had another player, and because NRG were so slow on the retake, it was all too easy for MIBR it was all too easy for MIBR to win. You are sneezing your butt off.
My eyes almost popped out of the sockets.
That's not good. Don't keep your eyes open when you sneeze. I don't know if that's an old wives' tale or not. Or an old husband's tale. I don't know if those exist. Still going. It's still going.
Help me.
Oh, I can't help you. I've got a cast. I'm sorry. Good luck. Ethan, 1 kill. No, doesn't get the kill. Cirque trades Stewie. He kills his teammate. The smoke goes down at CT to relieve Ethan. However, he's dropped his and can't use it for now for the retake. Bomb goes down. Similar situation for NRG. They've got more players to retake, but MIBR have time on their side. 4 players up. They can rotate around. Cirque here from the staircase is in a precarious spot. He's got to decide, when do I take the risk? And sometimes there's never a perfect opportunity, and sometimes you just got to pull the trigger. Stewie straight up loses his duel, and Cirque comes in now from the top of the ropes to get his. Daps, however, is labored on his frag, and that's it. 4 players up. They barely get it at the end of the day.
Yeah, swarming the bomb site, using the smoke to cover the defuse. Again, we see MIBR try to throw that middle late play to get players off bomb, but NRG had so many members still alive that they could just commit 1 player entirely to that and still have a 3 versus 1 advantage within the bomb site.
Yeah.
So numbers game helps out there in the after plant, and the numbers game helps out here in the buy, because clearly a numerical advantage in money for NRG over MIBR. But money doesn't make everything, because clearly Fur, one of the 2 AKs up for MIBR, will nab himself the first kill. Cirque deleted in the windowsill.
Yeah, you got backspaced. You got Control A removed. Fur. Oh. Nade lobs goes just a bit too far. I think the intent was good. I think the thought was there, but it really isn't the thought that counts sometimes. And so he doesn't take any damage. Ethan walking out beyond enemy lines and somehow gets that kill on Stewie. That is an incredibly difficult kill to get. Stewie doing so much damage, and he'll probably call that out, but that's all he gets. The split is on, however, as Fur is now top connector. Only Famas in the hands of Fallen with Deagle and Colds, but they've got the important kill, and now Ethan's back here on the site. Slowed down is Fur, and that flash actually changes his course of action.
Oh boy.
Ethan does not want to shoot too early.
then as the player goes past towards spawn, doesn't want to let Breezy die. There comes the wide swing. The spray's good for damage, but Cold still up, and he just whipped 90 degrees to dig Daps. Daps goes up in smoke.
Oh my god.
And Breezy left alone. He has the kit, but no utility to actually push this forward. It's going to be an HP advantage for Tarek as he resides underneath the balk. Like a troll under the bridge, he waits to take his toll. And that toll is so damaging. NRG now just have that 1-point lead. Sure, okay, Launders, they've got money for days. They're going to buy to the end of time.
Yeah.
But MIBR at least 1 round behind, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be... Let's see, they'll be able to buy this round. They're spending a lot of what they have now. And with everything, when all is said and done, when all the dust is settled, they've got about 8K between the 4 of them. Fugly's on 50 bucks. So he's going to have to go on spot for the next round if they want to buy. And it's getting close at this point. Stewie doing some very important early damage. Cirque not getting that op shot off is the most important thing for MIBR. But... I don't know, still really feels like NRG are in a good place at the moment. Looking fairly solid, barely losing that retake. I don't know, I don't think we have a replay for that last kill, but Cold, like, I feel like shouldn't have gotten that deagle frag, and that was literally the retake in a kill.
It was the difference maker. Fallen as he hunts the duel towards A site, gets completely blanketed off. The boost into the window. This could go either way. You can see Fur waiting for the smoke to fade.
Just gotta stare at that mini-map. There it is.
There you have it. Yep, absolute obliteration.
Mr. Wilson looking over the wall. There's a lot of T's at mid. It's not often you see this, and Tarek dying is big. They've got enough A control here. They're ready for a hit. Go for it. NRG say they don't even have to show face.
Nope,
ready to total
receive.
honeypot.
Oh. But Stewie 2K, staying true to his name, doubles up inside of the bomb site. Cirque just hiding behind Ticket now emerges with a kill immediately as Stewie does try to get past. Cirque looking to find a way to blast his way outwards, but Cold Zera up close wants to kick him in the teeth. He jumps over, and that could actually cost them now because sure, it creates some space, but they walk into the scope of Fallen, so still this does look good. MIBR have the plant for them, and Cirque's gonna grab the op here, hoping to use the trusty gun to cut them down, but Fallen has other ideas here, Mohan. That is 14 rounds apiece now, and unfortunately for NRG, the cash isn't all there.
Yeah, just every single round on a razor's edge in these post-plant situations on the A site, and NRG have just one more chance to do this with a bit of money in their pocket. After this, it's going to be a force-up, so somehow NRG, I mean, MIBR have earned their way back into this. I'm shocked, not appalled, impressed, and almost certainly, I have absolutely no clue who will actually win this game at this point. Feels like MIBR barely won the rounds that they have. NRG have had good setups to hold A. The frags have looked good for MIBR, and it comes down to just these last few seconds on A site. So the approaches have been good. The holds have been not so good, but they've used a lot of good passive setups to compromise.
Oh, they actually do calculate out the buy. Not wanting to forfeit overtime to MIBR just yet. And you can tell lackluster utility, not a single kit either. Clearly gaps in the buy. But regardless,
bit of lifestyle creep though. They've been used to having as much utility as you would have on a full buy, and here they just don't have a lot to work with. Passive setups are not going to cut it quite as well if you don't have options. And no kits? I mean, the bomb has been going down consistently. I would be worried.
Cirque playing off the stack, but it's to blast past Ethan first and foremost. Now, he does manage himself the kill, but it's so quickly traded by Fur. He just guns his way forward, and Daps will do the same. Slain. 3v1, and Daps has to eject towards mid. He's just got to call it quits, I think. He has no health to retake with, and now Fallen's found him. That's MIBR with 15. They got the 3 last rounds of the first half, and in the most recent 3 as well, they've taken them all.
It's just monstrous. I can't believe it. Just the breadth of the second half has gone to NRG, and MIBR just come back into it like 3 out of the last 4 rounds. And now NRG just have pistols. They scout, they have more utility than they even had last round, but in terms of guns, they're at a severe disadvantage. I would have put their EV much higher on the previous round than this one, and Fur is going to come out with a great flash and a great readjustment for the second kill, not committing too hard to the initial spray, leaving NRG with just 3 members alive.
But Ethan still swerves this back slightly into NRG's favor. Grab himself an MP9 for his efforts, and that very same gun has managed another kill elsewhere. It's Breezy inside of the apps. He's being pinched in, and Stewie's already in a prime position to actually take him down. Sure enough, he finds him, and that's just now the call to arms. MIBR going to charge forward here to the B bomb site, and not to mention the fact that Stewie can pick up this aggressive position. Oh, and a swift headshot to Cirque pushes it on to Ethan. He's going to have to do it all. A 1 versus 3 in the 30th round. MIBR in each half, taking those last few rounds, making it go the distance and putting on the show. 22 health for Ethan. Should never be enough. He's spotted and dealt with by Fallen. What a comeback.
Unbelievable. What a performance from MIBR. I am shook right now. That's pretty crazy stuff. It just felt like it was on a razor's edge the entire time in those last few rounds. And for MIBR to actually close it out flawlessly in those last 2, and that's, again, 4 out of the last 5 rounds that they picked up, no problem. But pretty admirable performance.
4 out of the last 5, 5 out of the last 6. So, I mean, that's wild when you consider 7 of the rounds on the T side are theirs. It was looking like NRG were going to do what they did yesterday, just completely swamp on those CT sides. However, not the case. So, folks, we'll see you on the second map to see if MIBR does it twice.